Asorok can come. The APC can come with his might and say his operation deliver the state by all means. They can seize everything you can think of. We have seen it happen, like what happened in Imo State. Even if you see all these things are worked as in operation deliver, in the sense that we don't want any story. That's the only condition. But it will still be very difficult for them, because when you see the resolution of the people to an extent, it goes a long way to determine how easy you can do these things and get away with it.
There's also that perception.
Know it that these big wigs you are talking of, there are 1,001 other big wigs in Anambra who are not card-carrying politicians, or they are not even holding political posts. But when it comes to power, they support government in one way or the other, and if they are supporting the incumbent, they can match these people shoulder to shoulder in terms of bringing money, in terms of bringing that same connection you think you have in Anambra. So the big shots we're talking of defecting to APC is not the magic wand.
So I think it's not going to give them the impact they expect it's going to make.
Not at all. It doesn't translate automatically to swaying people that unless it is by this capture that I'm talking of, state capture.
All right. So there is also that perception that if you align yourself very well with the center, then you're safe. You know, Soludo's politics is this politics of alliance. He would always deride people who do what he calls nzobu zobu politics. He believes you have to align with the center, you know, do it in a very diplomatic way. And so we have seen governors who during elections will always go and meet the president, you know, at the federal level. Some people perceive it as some sort of soft landing. I want some sort of soft landing. And so, you know, some people will say perhaps Soludo is quite safe when it comes to re-election, but after perhaps he's re-elected, I'm just projecting, what's the future of APGA? Is Soludo a good, would I say, custodian of APGA? Is he selling APGA properly? You know, because there are so many things surrounding his past claims, because there was that time he wrote a letter to Ubah to be. He was hoping that perhaps Obi could clinch the APGA presidential tickets, not necessarily for him to win, but to use it as some sort of launching pad. But after that, I wouldn't know if you think that he has done so much to sell APGA, not just in Anambra State, but nationally.
Of course, he's not that kind of person. Let's call a spade a spade. Yes, he has not done much for in building the party. But that's why I told you that if you look at the trend, there are so many things Obi did as a governor, which is working for APGA, even when he left APGA. The same thing happened. Obi was in APGA and returned as APGA governor for second tenure, and also handed over to APGA governor, even when PDP was in power that time. Because of what? He had a personal relationship with Jonathan, and he was relating very well with the center. It is the same thing others have been doing. Obiano did it. Before that time, they thought that Obiano would be we no board, but immediately the man went to Abuja, secured a deal with Buhari, and the thing was like APC was campaigning, but they know that even every Ubah who was given the ticket that time and what have you, they are not going anywhere. So at the end of the day, we saw how it panned out. The same thing is what Soludo is doing. You see, he knows that LP is a very big threat to APGA, but he's romancing the center, APC, knowing that if APC didn't come to capture, if he eventually settles that aspect, we support you at the central government, allow us to do our thing. Then he can now use that structure to know how to battle the enemy within, which is LP. So you think this is which is LP?
This is continuously going to be the system for APGA in this state. Romance with the center, work with already established structure, you think it will continuously work for APGA?
They have used it continuously from Obi's time, and it has been working for them. So maybe, and the way I'm even seeing Tinubu, it will continue. But maybe, who knows, whether after Tinubu and like after Soludo, like you said, because the game plan now is Soludo gets second tenure and will APGA succeed this time. Because if eventually Soludo didn't get second tenure, that is the death knell for APGA. But if he gets second tenure, his own 4 years is consolidated. Then it now depends on how will he now manage the exit after his second tenure and the future of that party. But the focus now is the future now, as they are entering another election in the next 2 years.
So, comrade, I am wondering, this thing you said about romancing the center, I was trying to imagine or trying to relate it with other states. Okay. I've come to realize that from what I've followed so far, it looks like there is always this, do I call it this need? These governors are always gunning to have this relationship with the center. But however, what is due to these states is what is constitutionally spelled. This relationship with the center, does it make any significant difference?
Yes, it makes a significant difference because they will tell you that the government in power controls everything. So there are some certain, yes, agreed that the allocation, the statutory allocation that comes to every state is not shared across party line. It is shared statutorily based on percentage derivation and what have you. It has nothing to do with
who
party,
is close to the center.
yes. But there are other fringe benefits in the distribution of resources and allocation of resources, infrastructure-wise and what have you. You find out that sometimes partisan considerations can give some people such advantage.
So I am wondering, comrade, just a while ago we talked about rail projects not, cutting across to the southeast. Is it that there has not been good relationship enough to bring that to fruition?
It's part of it. If you look at the national political configuration, we saw how it happened that a former president who is in APC said you don't expect who didn't vote for, or there is a word he used that time, dot in a circle and percentage, what have you. So he didn't mind words when he said it that.
You mean the former president?
Yes, Buhari. Yes.
He came from a particular context saying that, well, even if it's 5%, democracy will not allow me not to give them what is accurable to them, even though people continuously quote him. Try to quote him that he said, so we need to get the proper.
It's not true. It's
I think it's interpretation.
It's not interpretation.
No, comrade. Let's leave that argument.
Okay.
Let's leave that because I'm certain of what I'm saying. But then again, you were making a point when it comes to distribution of allocation.
So that apart from the statutory allocation, politics is always who gets what, when and how. You find out that some states are aligned to the center when this allocation of resources, infrastructure and what have you is being shared. Some people, because of that alignment, get more than others. Yes, and that center also is somehow a shared because our federal government structure has made it that the center is so powerful than the component units. So there is a semblance of shield coming from aligning with that center. Unlike when you are seen as you are confrontational, there are some certain things they don't discuss, as in getting to this place when you are seen as being on the other side. So it's obvious.
When you talk about the future of APGA now, earlier on, this altercation is between APC and APGA, but nobody is talking about LP, which you just hinted earlier on. When it comes to seats occupied, Labour Party in Anambra State, 2 senatorial seats. House of Representatives, Labour Party 6, and I think APGA 4. I remember Governor Soludo in that his, would I say infamous letter, said APGA was the third largest party. I don't know if that is still the true state of things, but there you have it. No showing as far as senatorial seats is concerned in Anambra State. And I'm just wondering, just like you said, whoever that is brought in can actually decide whether APGA will occupy Anambra governorship seat or not. And so I'm looking at somebody like Ozigbo. He made a good showing in the last governorship election. I think PDP came second, and I think Ubah came third, even though the court said he was not a candidate after all. And so, do you see this threat on APGA based on who LP will present in future election in this state?
Yes. If you look at what happened during that presidential election, you know that the letter Soludo wrote nearly cost him. He has not recovered fully from it, and that is the truth of the matter, because he touched the raw nerve of where people sentiments were that at that point in time, and it would have been the kind of battle APGA fought to retain majority in the State House of Assembly is almost like what was used to pursue a governorship election, because of that careless mistake Soludo did, which she has not even admitted till now that is a mistake anyway.
But he didn't write a second letter.
Well, we couldn't see history beckons part two again.
So that should be a lesson.
So the thing is, really, APGA LP is APGA's real rival in Anambra. Take it or leave it.
Do you think people will be tired
but
then?
But there are things working against them.
Okay.
Because the issue has always been one of the things also that gives any incumbent governor edge over others to come back, or a party or whatever to come back, is that in Anambra, rotation, even when it is not in the constitution, but it has been ingrained in the system that it has come to stay. What is it? That a particular zone, the 3 senatorial zones now take turns, 2 tenors. And if by there is that perception, which is very, very true, it is a perception that can become a reality. The perception that is better we endure for 8 years than we make a mistake and we end up 12 years. What is it? The thing is that when a governor from a particular zone has been there for 4 years, the people prefer to allow him finish the remaining 4 years so that the zone can take its full slot. Because if you allow it to go to another zone, the implication is that that person, after finishing first tenure, will also use power of incumbency and other things he has done in office to tell you why he need another term. And if you do it, what it means is that one zone will not complete that they have 8 years, and another zone will now take 8 years, destabilizing.
Do people care about this, or politicians?
People care about it. The sentiment has been
like the average Anambra voter cares about that.
Yes. Because these are the people who take these things into consideration are actually the people who vote, and also
that should be up for debate,
and also motivate others to come out and vote. They vote and also motivate or mobilize others to come and vote. So while LP and Ozigbo you mentioned hold so many prospects, there are also clear hurdles on their way, which will be difficult for them to skate through. But we can't predict 100% in politics what will actually happen.
Indeed, the future is pregnant, but we did what we could to determine what could play out in the future. That has been the discussion topic. The future of APGA in Anambra State will return.
99.1 FM.
Looking for the best way to start your day? Listen to the Breakfast Diary. A complete diet of news.
Unknown gunmen today attack
current affairs and newspaper review.